finally be on the way for thousands aboard the USS Lincoln. After more than 250 days at sea, families are still waiting for answers.
Sharp Healthcare sends out layoff notices as part of a restructuring plan. How many people are affected?
City workers preparing to open the bathrooms in Mission Bay after they've been closed for the past month.
Construction continues on a modular fire-resistant home in Escondido. I have more on their plans to finish by the end of the week.
And those new rules for electronic bikes are now in effect. We're working for you to explain the changes that aim to keep kids safe.
Amid questions over when the San Diego-based USS Abraham Lincoln might return home, there's some relief tonight for the long-deployed crew as we are learning that the USS George Washington is reported to be heading to the Middle East to relieve the aircraft carrier. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Stephanie Simmons, in tonight for Marcella. Families have been raising concerns about conditions aboard the Lincoln, while the Navy says some of those reports are not accurate. News 8's Alex Lai joins us live along San Diego Bay with the very latest on this. Alex.
Well, Stephanie and Carlo, the deployment was expected to end in May, but then was extended with no end date publicly announced. And now since then, family and friends have been speaking out, asking for answers on when these service members will return home.
What was your reaction when you heard of the potential of the USS George Washington going out to replace the Lincoln?
Thank God. Like, that's it. Just thank God. We have heard so many dates in the past. And yeah, we were like days away at one point for relief, and that got canceled too. So a part of me is trying not to hold on to hope, but at the same time, I truly feel something in me saying like, this is it. And hopefully this is the end of this.
That was Jasmine, who has friends and family on board the Lincoln, alongside roughly 5,000 sailors and Marines. The ship left San Diego last November and has now been deployed for more than 250 days, assisting in the U.S.'s war against Iran, and hasn't been to port in more than 200 days, a record for the aircraft carrier. In recent days, the Navy Times shared reports by family members of multiple sailors attempting to go overboard and worsening mental health during the ship's long deployment. The article says around 200 family members of Lincoln crew members met with senior Navy officials at a town hall meeting last week here in San Diego. It says they raised concerns over reports of deteriorating mental health, shortage of basic supplies, water contamination, and plumbing issues. The Navy confirmed a sailor went overboard earlier this month and was quickly recovered and treated. But a Navy official tells News 8 the command has not identified an increase in reported suicidal ideation or attempts overboard the ship. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has also called reports about the conditions aboard completely misrepresented. But families still have questions about when the Lincoln will be relieved, when service members may return home, and if conditions on the ship will continue. Lawmakers are also pushing back, wanting more information. I spoke with U.S. Representative Mike Levin earlier today. We'll hear from him coming up in my live report at 6. Carlo and Stephanie.
All right, Alex, thank you. Now to some developing news we've been following this afternoon. The 18-year-old caught on camera repeatedly kicking a sea lion at La Jolla Cove is pleading guilty to federal charges under the Marine Mammal Protection Act.
According to the plea agreement, La Jolla resident Tyler Mule admitted to kicking the sea lion that was peacefully sitting on a seawall 4 different times on the night of July 22nd. The attack was caught on video, and we want to warn you, it might be distressing to watch. He also admitted that after the second kick, the sea lion tried to get away, but he chased after it and kicked it 2 more times before the sea lion was able to make its way to the beach. Mule faces up to 1 year in prison and a $100,000 fine at his sentencing in October.
Right now, the San Diego Sheriff's Office is investigating human remains found near Palomar Mountain. A volunteer team searching for the missing Oceanside woman, Angelica Brophy, made the discovery last night off South Grade Road in Palma Valley. But police say the remains are not believed to be Brophy's. She disappeared on July 6 after visiting Harrah's Resort in Valley Center, and her car was later found at a state park. It was too dark to recover the remains last night, so investigators are back at the scene today. The cause of death is not yet known.
Developing tonight, San Diego police are looking for a person they say shot 2 people outside a North Park bar. It happened around 2 a.m. along 30th Street between University and Lincoln Avenues. Police say a man in his 20s walked up behind the two others and began firing at them. The attack appeared to be unprovoked, and neither victim knew the suspect, who ran off. A 42-year-old man was shot in his foot and was taken to a hospital, while a 33-year-old man was grazed by a bullet. Both are expected to be okay. Anyone with information should call police. New tonight, Sharp Healthcare says it is making workforce reductions and organizational changes that will affect 260 employees.
And now we're hearing from one worker who says that she and the rest of her entire department are losing their jobs. News 8's Shannon Handy has more on that and what's behind the cuts.
Many of those 260 employees were offered alternative employment, but the woman I spoke with says she and her coworkers weren't given that option.
We're disappointed. We're sad because we do the best for Sharp, and Sharp just decides to say bye.
Maria Cardenas has worked in housekeeping at Sharp Mesa Vista, San Diego's largest privately operated psychiatric hospital, for 5 years. This week, she received a letter informing her she was being laid off.
They didn't give us a warning. It was out of the blue. I have 4 kids. I have bills. I just moved to a new place. It's like they don't think about the families they're affecting.
Cardenas says her entire department is being eliminated. She believes the work her team does is essential and worries the cuts could affect patient safety.
We are the ones who disinfect. So if we're on disinfectant a hospital, then you guys don't have patients. Because a patient's not going to go to a hospital that's all infected.
Sharp announced workforce reductions and organizational realignment across several areas of its health system, including behavioral health and outpatient services. 260 of its 21,000 employees are affected, with about 1% being let go. Positions impacted include nurses, social workers, and other clinical and non-clinical staff.
They're not giving the options to the patients, too. They're just saying you're moving to this department, and that's it. That's not fair for the patient. The patients are here for help.
Sharp says rising costs and policy changes are driving the move, specifically reductions to federal reimbursement programs such as Medicaid and Medicare, which Congress passed under President Trump's Big Beautiful Bill last year. In a statement, Sharp's president and CEO called the reductions difficult but necessary decisions that reflect challenges facing healthcare organizations nationwide, adding the system remains committed to providing exceptional patient care. For Cardenas, though, the future remains uncertain.
It's not easy to find a job. So I don't know. I'm like, I want to cry.
Shanna Handy, News 8.
Tonight, we are hearing from the upset parents of students at Del Sur Elementary after school leaders push back the start date over mold concerns. This is video from earlier today showing trucks unloading what appeared to be large industrial ventilation machines. According to Poway Unified, they're doing microbial cleaning of every classroom and cleaning the ductwork there as well. Parents tell us they are still worried for the kids and teachers, saying the school also had issues with mold a couple years ago.
Concerned that the school may not be safe to go back to, and I think our biggest concern, especially since this has happened in the past, is that one, it's remediated now so that the kids can go back to school as soon as possible, and that two, in the long term, it doesn't reoccur.
According to the district, more testing will happen over the weekend. The first day of school is now set for either Tuesday or Wednesday. Meanwhile, crews are cleaning up the North Restroom in Mission Bay, getting it ready to reopen tomorrow.
It's one of 13 restrooms the city closed in July over budget cuts, but as News 8's Abby Black reports, the city of San Diego is now reversing course after major public pushback.
We're here at the Tecolote North Restroom, and we've seen many runners and walkers, moms pushing their stroller, trying to use the bathroom today, but you can see that they still have a sign up to say that the restroom is closed. We talked to some city workers today. We saw them cleaning them out, preparing to reopen them on Friday, and people are glad to see the city reverse course. Lots of walkers on Mission Bay today, passing by the locked up Tecolote North Restroom.
I would stop and talk to you, but I have to rush to the next bathroom.
So we joined in step with 75-year-old Jorge Carrillo and his wife heading to the nearest open restroom. How much further do you have to walk down?
Another quarter mile. Yeah, that's a long ways.
Under the mayor's direction, the city closed 13 of Mission Bay's 24 restrooms in July, citing budget constraints. Carrillo says that he's used to it. You're used to it, but did you have to get used to it?
Yes, definitely. I had my walk and my times and my bathroom breaks kind of scheduled in advance. Now I have to prepare myself for not being able to go when nature calls.
But not everyone abided by the locked gates. City workers tell me that they clean the restrooms every morning, closed or not. Richard Passavant is visiting from Colorado.
We just thought we'd come spend some time down in the park, and boy, now I have to use the bathroom. And that is unfortunate. That's how parks get stinky.
During the closure, News 8 saw urine streaming from the restrooms and smelled the unsanitary conditions firsthand. Today, they appeared clean. The city got an earful, and the mayor changed his mind. The 13 restrooms reopen tomorrow in Mission Bay through the end of the year. Now they're going to reopen all these restrooms tomorrow, but...
Oh, well, that's 24 hours too late.
The mayor and District 1 and 2 council members pulled from community projects and programs to restore access.
I was excited, very excited. Actually, I heard this morning.
Locals who frequent Mission Bay said that they should have never closed in the first place, especially the newer ones.
Good to see they're looking after the people for a change, but a lot more needs to be done.
This is not the first time that we've seen the mayor and the city change their mind. We saw this with the Balboa Park parking fees. After there was some major pushback, they repealed those fees. And then we saw it with the trash fees. After there was a lawsuit and public outcry, the city reduced those fees. Reporting in Mission Bay, Abby Black, News 8.
Thank you, Abby. New e-bike rules start today in the city of San Diego.
But city leaders are giving you a grace period. Riders must be at least 12 years of age or at least 16 for the faster Class 3 e-bikes. Warnings will be issued for the first 60 days. Then citations will start on October 12th. A $25 fine can be waived by completing a safety course. News 8's Jenny Day will have more on the new rules and the grace period ahead in our next half hour.
San Diego County may owe you money.
We'll explain how you can check still ahead. Plus, details on a new report highlighting potential funding issues for the controversial high-speed rail project.
And I'm Alex Cheney in Escondido again today, where we are checking on the construction of this home. Started on Monday. They said they'll be done by Friday. We'll tell you how they're doing it so fast. Coming up.
Some of the coolest clouds you will ever see are out there over the mountains right now. We do have lenticular clouds, so they are developing because of upper level winds that help to bring down our temperatures earlier today. Not UFOs, but we do have those disc-shaped clouds, Stephanie's laughing, over our mountains. Yes, that's because temperatures did cool down, and we're looking at a similar range by tomorrow. Your complete forecast is ahead.